Hey everyone, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the preview for Monday night's game, Arsenal versus Liverpool. A game I'm really looking forward to. Liverpool are coming to the Emirates so far with a 100% win ratio, having beaten the likes of Stoke City and Bournemouth on Monday night last week. And of course, that game against Bournemouth, it has to be said it was one of the most unconvincing performances that we saw from last weekend's action. Scoring the offside goal through Benteke and Bournemouth themselves having a goal disallowed. So a rather unconvincing game, but nonetheless they've come away with a clean sheet. They got a clean sheet in their game against Stoke City as well, so they've had 2 clean sheets on the bounce. That partnership of Skirtle and Lovren, although you can tell there's a mistake in it at times, it has done well up until this point. I hope that going into this game on Monday night, we're able to exploit Liverpool and really show the difference between where we are and where they are. We haven't had the best of starts to the season, of course. I would regard Liverpool as the big test for us initially. But losing 2 to West Ham on the opening day of the season was a big blow for us. It's important that we get our home form up and running against Liverpool, because last season that was so integral to the success that we had in the league. And I think the game against Crystal Palace last week was one that we could take a lot of positives from. I just think if we defend a little better going into this game on Monday, the attacking prowess will really follow through. I mean, we played really well on Sunday last weekend against Crystal Palace, and we did some really good stuff going forward. 9 times out of 10 Alexis Sanchez would have scored the chance that he had. I mean, Ozil created about 5 chances for him. Unfortunately, Alexis wasn't just at his best yet. I mean, that was his first full game for a while for Arsenal, and going into this game he should be really sharp, and I'd like to think that he'd be able to put those chances in the back of the net. I'm really confident that we can beat this Liverpool side convincingly. Last season, beating them by 4 goals to 1, arguably our best performance of the season. And of course, Liverpool are going to come to the Arsenal Stadium, the Emirates, and they're going to be a bit more cautious, I would have thought. I think they'd be happy to come away with just a point in this game. Liverpool are going to be competing for a top 4 spot this season. In games like this, I would expect them to line up defensively. The new players they brought in, the likes of Benteke, Firmino, James Milner, etc., could be integral to how well Liverpool do. I think one player that we need to really exploit in this game, I think it's their left back Gomez, who I think has had a fairly solid start for them, but he hasn't really been tested yet. I think when you've got someone like Alexis Sanchez, Oxlade-Chamberlain penetrating that play, I think that he could really be exposed in this game, and that's where I would certainly be targeting this Liverpool defence. But of course, it's not an overly robust Liverpool defence. Let's not forget that they have kept 2 clean sheets, but Lovren last season was absolutely appalling. Skirtle is certainly error-prone, despite being one of Liverpool's best centre-halves. So I do think that there is definitely potential to exploit this Liverpool team. Throughout the midfield, I think that will be where the battle is won, really. They've got Milner and Henderson in the midfield. I do think that there's a lot of potential to exploit their midfield. We should overrun them in that sense if we line up in the right way. And defensively, I don't believe we should have too many problems in this game. Liverpool didn't really seem to have too much attacking prowess in the game against Bournemouth last Monday, and the players that we need to keep quiet, most obviously, Philippe Coutinho and Benteke. They're the players that I really do believe that we need to keep quiet in this game. And apart from that, I don't think we should have too many problems. I wouldn't expect the kind of performance that we had against Liverpool last season. Although that kind of performance would be absolutely superb, I'll be more than happy with a 1 or 2-0 victory. As long as we win the game convincingly, it'd be good to keep our first clean sheet of the season. That'd be good for Petr Cech's confidence as well. And overall, it's going to be a big game. It'll be a tight game. I think it will be won by just one goal, possibly 2 at the max, but I'm not expecting quite a performance that we saw against Liverpool last season. I took to Twitter to ask for your lineups going into this game, and here are a couple of them that I'm just going to read out. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's @simplycookie_, and if you follow me, I'll make sure to get your tweets in before and after every game in these videos from now on. So the first lineup that I've got from Ahmed Mahmoud is Cech, Bellerin, Koscielny, Mertesacker, Monreal, Coquelin, Cazorla, Chamberlain, Sanchez, Ozil and Olivier Giroud. The next one from Jared Ash Palmer, not really a lineup, but just says same as last week, but Walcott up front. We need pace. And then the next one from @Mazzola19 is Cech, Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny, Monreal, Coquelin, Cazorla, Chamberlain, Ozil, Alexis and Olivier Giroud. The next one from Essence of Wilshire's Cech, Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny, Monreal, Coquelin, Cazorla, Chamberlain, Ozil, Alexis Sanchez and Olivier Giroud. The next one from @GiroudNearPost is Cech, Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny, Monreal, Cazorla, Coquelin, Chamberlain, Ozil, Alexis, Giroud. And I'm going to leave it there in terms of lineups because a lot of them are pretty similar. But everyone that tweeted in, I'm going to leave them running on the screen as I always do. And thanks to everyone that has taken the time to tweet in. Really do appreciate, and I love hearing your lineups for this game. But I think the one thing that has been evidenced throughout reading those tweets is that so many people want to see us play with 2 out-and-out wingers. Although I can understand the reasoning that we have for playing Aaron Ramsey on the right-hand side, and I think I can't quite remember who it was that made a really good point about why he plays on the right-hand side last season on Sky Sports Football, but he defends really well in that position. Although we don't get the best out of him going forward, which is very frustrating at times, and we do see that. Tracking back, he's really good in that role, and he kept Zaha quiet in that game against Crystal Palace, and that's possibly another reason why he might start on the right-hand side against Liverpool. It does frustrate me a little bit that we're not getting the best out of Ramsey whilst he plays in that position, and I want to see more fluidity going forward. I don't think he had a bad game by any means against Palace. I thought he did some good things going forward, but defensively that's where he was more pivotal in the game. I'd love to see Chamberlain start. I'd love to see us play with Sanchez and Chamberlain in the same team. I think so many people would agree with me on that. Playing with 2 out-and-out wingers would be absolutely superb, and I really think we'd be able to exploit that Liverpool defence, exploit players like Gomez, as I've mentioned, and really get into players like Skirtle and Lovren. There is definitely potential to really threaten that Liverpool back line with those kind of players. And with Giroud up top, having the likes of Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, Chamberlain running off him, it'd be great to see that. And there's also a good shout for Theo Walcott starting the game as well. Not possibly up top, but on one of the flanks. I think Giroud's going to be integral to this game. I'm saying I think a lot throughout this video, but certainly I would like to see Giroud start the game with players running off him, which would be really great to see. And, you know, overall, I'm just really looking forward to this game. There's a lot of potential within this Arsenal side, and I'd hope that we would play with 2 out-and-out wingers. But it is my feeling that we're going to play with 1 central player on the right-hand side, which might not be a disaster. I mean, we did play really good football last season towards the back end of the season with Aaron Ramsey playing on the right. He did a good job, got a couple of goals. But I think if we're going to see the best out of him, he's got to play through the middle. And sadly, I don't think we're going to see 2 out-and-out wingers playing this game, although I would really love to see that. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Once again, thanks to everyone that took the time to tweet in your lineups. I'll be doing the same thing, just getting your thoughts on the game afterwards. So make sure to follow me on Twitter at @simplycookie_. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Subscribe to my own channel, AFC Game by Game. I'll speak to you very soon, guys.